Hey guys, what's up? My name's Art. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, and so it's time to do a video. Um, what a day! It's like 90 degrees outside here in Michigan. I'm kind of glowing a little bit because of the sweat, but then again, it's finally summer. Hopefully, tomorrow I have to go to a dentist because COVID-19 stopped my other dentist appointment. So now I finally have to go now tomorrow morning. Then after that, I work for the rest of the day. Good. All right. So, my sinuses is still wacky haywire because this weather is either cold or now it's starting to get hot. So it's like, oh my gosh. So, hey, it sounds like I'm sick, but I'm not. And no, I don't have COVID. So, what happens today? So, after a long time, I'm starting to finally get certain stuff that I ordered. Okay, so what happens? The first thing I want to show you is a CD I've ordered from this band from the Ukraine called Ignia. This is their second offering. 3 years ago, I was on YouTube and they said, here's a recommended music video for you to watch. I watched it. It was called Olga. It had like orchestra and kind of little rocky vibe to it. I was like, oh man, this is great. I liked it. Started watching that video every day. And every day and so forth and so forth. It's called The Realms of Fire and Death. It came out in, I think, April. It came out in April. Now this is a DIY band. They do it themselves. So that means that they raised money to make their own album. They don't have any record label. They make their own music. So they raised money to make this album and record it. And they use their money to make this album and ship it everywhere. One thing that's kind of cool, the first, like years ago when I bought their first record, the Sign of Faith. Problem is, customs, they check the stuff very carefully, and they also provided. This is when they were used to be called Parallax. They signed their names there, and of course they wrote a little note. They wrote a little note for all the people who bought the records and stuff. So that was, like I said, that's a nice touch for a DIY band. That's pretty cool. So I ordered this. It came out. It was really the release was April. I ordered it right when it just got released, and I finally got it now, which is like 2.5 months, almost 2 months. The lead singer wrote a little note for me. And so that's kind of neat. This is one of the reasons why I like this band. Another band I like was another band years ago. What happens is whenever I ordered a CD from them, they always signed it or something like that. If you pre-ordered it or something like that. So the next thing is, I went to the comic book store today. The reason why, because I needed a long box. This box holds about 250 comic books. Now, why do I need a long box? Well, I have comic books that's in regular boxes, and I just need to put it in here to keep it kind of nice and neat. And that way I can get rid of some stuff. So, this weekend I'm going to be taking some comics and throwing them in this box. Some of the comics that I got from these comic book hauls are going into this box or a box or whatnot, and I had to switch some stuff around, and that's fine. So when I was at the comic book store, I decided to get some more stuff. So I spent like $20 altogether, something like that. Was it 20? Yeah, it was $19.53 for that and some books, like 4 books. So I bought the True Believers Captain Marvel #1. This is a facsimile of the Captain Marvel comic book that was in the 1960s something, I believe. Well, they got the current years here, but I think this original story was in the 60s because the artwork resembles the 1960s kind of artwork by Stan Lee and Gene Colan. So this is a 1960s book. Now, oh, sorry. This is the same. Now, the thing is, you might have heard of Captain Marvel, which is a woman today. She got her powers from this guy. She got her start in this book, in this group, because you see right here, the life of Captain Marvel, right here. She adopted his name. Okay. Also, another True Believers, Miss Marvel #1, which is the same person as this person. This is when she had her powers before she got stolen by Rogue in Avengers Annual #10. So this is a facsimile of True Believers. So like I said, Marvel and DC, they're starting to reprint some of their famous comics. Well, maybe this is not as famous, but the thing is that last time I remember, this comic was worth about like $80 or something like that. But anyway, I always wanted to read it. This came out in the 80s, I believe. After the death of Captain Marvel, which is the only Marvel death that stays still true. They never brought that motherfucker back. This one I found interesting. Another person, Comic Book Sal, Stanables Collectible, Jim Mint Comics. These are other videos I watch, sites I watch. They talked about Batman. The series continues. Now, what happened is this is a continuation of the Batman the Animated Series cartoon that was in the 90s. So it even even has the art style of the comic book of the TV series. So I always wanted to get that to see how that was going to. Wanted to get that. Last but not least, the last book is Dark Knight's Metal #1. This is the new story thing that's going out this month. This month, and I like this cover better than this one. Other cover had like foil and shiny and all this. I like this one. I like this variant because it looks kind of cool. Batman on a motorcycle with a big ass scythe, stuff like that. Don't know what the storyline about this is, and by the time I really figure out what it is and trying to figure out what to do with it, it's gonna be too much work. Now, this right here came in today from eBay. Good old eBay. No. I'm going to tell you, let me explain what this is first. Okay? This book this book I'm going to show you, I had this book when I was a child. And of course I don't have it anymore. And believe me, I wanted to replace this so much. I finally had a chance to. So I looked up and said, this is the time, if I can replace it, I'm going to replace it. I want an auction. Thing is, I wanted it, and I got it. I don't care what, I didn't really care. As long as it was a pretty decent condition, I didn't really care. Now, this comic is a very good to fine condition. Now, looking at it, it's not the best condition, but it's probably a good 5 or 6 out of 10, maybe, if I was to grade it. It came in this little Mylar thing, which is awesome. Now, when I turn this over, I'm gonna show you why this is so important. Now, the funny thing is, when I was a kid, I didn't realize the importance of this. But then again, to me, when I was a kid, wait, hold on. I'll explain that in a second. Amazing Spider-Man 135. You see there's a little crease right here, little roll right there, right here, and it says Return of the Punisher. This is the second appearance of the Punisher. The second appearance of the Punisher. This is a very valuable comic. If it was in super good condition, it could fetch $700 to $800. But I got it for $60 in a very good condition because I always wanted it because I had it as a child. The reason why, when I was a child, I was a big fan of. I'm still a big fan of Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my favorite character, and I used to have this. I used to carry this to school with me. Don't ask me why. I used to carry it to school in my backpack and in my notebook. And I finally got this back. I don't know whatever happened to it. It could have got damaged in the flood I had in my dad's basement. It could have. Or it could have got damaged some other way. Who knows? I don't know. But this right here, I finally, after 30 some odd years, I finally get this book back. And this is awesome. I feel happy. Today is a great day right now. Great, awesome day. I mean, tell you, today was kind of like a hit and miss day for me at work, and I was like, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. Dynamite Kid 100 called. He had a little small problem. Well, not really a problem, but he just needed to vent at something, so I just listened to him. I took some time off out of work, listened to what he had, listened to his problem, helped him out as best way I can, and hopefully he did it. He did a video about it. I don't know if he did a video about it yet, but he did a video. He mentioned he talked to me today, and so that was kind of cool. Because he knows I'm usually at work in the day, so if he calls me during the day, it's either something going on or something's going on. So I was like, okay, let me go check this out. But oh man, like I said, this is the book that I have not had since I was a kid, and I have it for a chance. Now, maybe one day I might buy a better copy of this. Maybe one day. I don't know. But I have this. It's awesome. I remember I used to try to draw this. I used to try to draw this when I was a kid. That's how good that memory was. So this is what I call a grail for me, which is like a comic that valuable. So this is a very valuable comic. I got it back, and I'm happy. Today, and tell you the truth, these times it's kind of odd. It's odd. It's crazy. It's maddening. You got you had George Floyd. We had COVID-19, which is still going on. George Floyd incident. Because of George Floyd, people uprising, people demanding change in police procedures. First, the president didn't give a shit about it. Now he has to give a shit because he sees it's a problem. It's the same problem that most people in the black and Hispanic communities have been talking about for years. We was talking about that police brutality, racial profiling. We was telling all that stuff, and then everybody's like, no big deal. NWA, the super hip hop group back in the late 80s, early 90s, came up with the song "Fuck the Police." People like, oh wow, what the fuck? No big deal. Rodney King happened. Oh, maybe we should look at it, but we'll do better. They never got better. Ice-T and Body Count come up with Cop Killer. Everybody's blowing their minds out. I'm like, what the fuck? And now stuff happens. Now this, finally, maybe some change is going to happen. Some guy kills a guy at a Wendy's, and the police says, "Screw this! I'm jumping off the force. I ain't going to do this. I'm going to resign from this. I'm going to resign because I ain't going to go to work because you're making me a villain." The problem is, people, As you can tell, police are not the villains. Only certain only certain individuals in the police force are the villains, which when they do something wrong or somewhat questionable, whether it's justified or not, it puts a blanket on every one of them. And so what happened is, lots of unrest. And the funny thing is in 4 months, 5 months, within 4 months, we'll be voting to see if Trump is going to get his second election or is going to be a new president. We don't, so so right now it's like it's crazy. And even though all this shit's happening is crazy, places are opening up again. You can start doing your regular things, not like you used to, but it has to be slightly different. You know, thing is, as long as you take care of yourself, don't be an idiot, you should be fine. Um, thing is that even though things may seem rough, but just remember, one bad day does not mean a bad lifetime. You sometimes when bad little things that could put a pebble make you trip a little bit, just remember, you trip, you can get back up. Don't stay down. Just get back up and keep on strutting. Tell you the truth, people says, Art, I don't want to talk to you because I don't want to talk to you. It's like, can you do something for me? And I say, no, I don't want to talk to you then. So what? Okay, fine. The only reason why you come to me is because you want something. Keep on stepping. Teacher yells at you for whatever reason. Okay. Keep on stepping. Your boss tries to yell at you. Keep on stepping. Your wife, husband / significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, maybe, whatever. Say, okay. Road bump. Keep on stepping. Always keep stepping. So, like I said, I was having some bad problems, and now I'm doing a lot better. Tell you the truth, stuff like this. Tell you the truth. I had to spend money to make myself feel better. Okay, fine. To make myself feel better, I had to spend money. Okay, is that a problem? No. My bills are paid, so that's fine. Why not? So, we all have our different coping skills, and I believe that my page, Dynamite Kid 100, if you have a problem, you ask us to listen to your problem. I'm very sure we'll take the time to listen and let you know how we feel about it. I'm pretty sure. I remember I used to do this with one person, and she used to write. And the thing is that, this one person I used to reach out to sometimes, and sometimes, she's a great person. But, a lot of times I look around, it's like, when she starts talking, my eyes are like deer in headlights. But I still hear it. And I still listen. And I say, okay, this is what this. Sometimes we'll have disagreements because of the fact that she doesn't want to think. She thinks everything's all negative. I said, well, there's a positive idea. There's something positive. Maybe what you did or what happened to you was a wake-up call to do better, be better. But the funny thing is, if you're too afraid to take that first step, I understand. I understand that. But the thing is, you gotta take that first step sometime. I had a staph infection in my hip 3 years ago. It destroyed a good portion of my hip. They was talking about giving me a hip replacement. And what happened was the doctor's like, well, it destroyed a lot of it, but it's not limiting your mobility. You're not having that much pain. I do have arthritis in my hip. But when I was in the hospital after they did my procedure, they cut me open and scraped all the staph infection out and flushed it out. Not once, but twice. The next day, they had me up and trying to walk. When they say, Art, You can stay. You'll be in this hospital, but you'll be out. But so when you can walk up and downstairs with no problem, that's when you can get out. So what happened was in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep, I got out of bed and I tried to walk around my bed and around the room as much as I possibly can to get that strength back up. I did everything I could so I can get the hell out of that hospital. I had to take one step at a time, and I did. So I wasn't in there for more than a week, and I was at home. Okay? Just remember, it takes one step. You stumble, don't worry, dust yourself off, take one step. One step forward, of course, not backwards. Take one or to the side. Take one step forward and keep moving. All right. So that's all I'm going to say for today. I'm kind of hungry and I kind of need to eat. So otherwise, I'm going to pass out. So hope you guys are doing well. Take care of yourselves. Look out for everybody, and I'll talk to you hopefully this weekend. All right. Talk to you later.